Look at the crowd, tell me whether I'm surrounded, but none are together in Norway.
Well, one of the most quotable lines in the trailer for this movie is that this story can end Fox News. Why the fuck hasn't that happened yet? Let's talk about the latest movie, Bombshell. Bombshell is apparently the movie about a scandal that happened to Fox News back in 2015, between 2015 and 2016, where several people come up and actually can tell that one of the heads of Fox News and one of the people who built it up, Roger Ailes, had been sexually harassing women throughout the decades, in even way before he helped start Fox News. And basically his ousting. This is a star-studded cast, and we have people like many of the people who won awards in this movie. We have Charlize Theron, we have Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie, John Lithgow's in it, Roger McDowell's in it as Rupert Murdoch, and several other actors. Even Kate McKinnon is even in this movie, and she does pretty well in her role, which is nice to see considering she's actually been a supporting actress in a lot of different movies and really has had up and down results with me. I liked her in Family, I hated her in Yesterday. So yeah, this movie travels for about a year, and this takes place during Donald Trump's reign, or trying to get elected as the head of the Republican Party for his nomination in 2000 and eventually winning in 2016. One thing you have to say about this movie, it is not only the star-studded, it is very well acted. Charlize Theron's very good in it, especially dealing with what her character has to deal with, knowing that she wasn't sexually assaulted, but she was sexually harassed. And through her getting sexually harassed and fighting back, she actually earned the respect of Roger Ailes. Then we have someone like Nicole Kidman, who's an older woman, and she's being basically forced out of her job. Then we have Margot Robbie's character, who is an up-and-comer, who is being harassed, basically. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting how we do have these three different dynamics. We have the older person who is straight up like being pushed out the door because of her conviction. We have Charlize Theron's character, who's in this movie about the right age range. And then we have Margot Robbie's character, who's the up-and-comer, who now has to know what it feels like do things that the other two have done. And all of them really act amazingly. I do like that Nicole Kidman it almost seemed like aged herself up in this movie, even though she doesn't look old. Especially once she gets away from Fox News, she looks like she actually reverted and got younger. And then Charlize Theron's this character who doesn't know where to lie in the situation. Mark Robbie's character is a new person who is now being, I want to say, predatorized. She's being preyed upon, basically. And there's a very interesting, uncomfortable scene with her and John Lithgow's character as Roger. And you do see the marks of someone who they know something's wrong, but they're doing it because that's how they bring money home. Matter of fact, Charlize Theron's character as Meg goes through a lot of that as she's wondering whether she should go on the side of Gwen's side, played by Nicole Kidman, on whether she should out herself and the reasons for not doing it. I know a lot of people are going to give a lot of credit to Charlize Theron's character, and that's perfectly fine. I think she's wonderful. I'm a huge fan of her. She had my favorite movie of last year in Tully. I love young adults. I liked Atomic Blonde, Mad Max Fury Road. And while she does feel excellent in this job, I'm not sure her character, Meg, is the main character. I think it's somewhere between her and Nicole Kidman's character as Gretchen. So, like, I'm not quite sure why she was nominated for Best Actress. Unsurprisingly, I think the best actor in the movie was actually John Lithgow, who's playing Roger. And yes, he's in this fat suit, but you can see, like, the fact that he's actually believing what he's saying. Especially once the sexual harassment suit gets down, you can see him like, oh, I never asked for this straight out. And they're like, I don't know, you sure about that? And even him acting through this fat suit, you can feel him being creepy, but he never comes off as a complete monster. You just look at him, especially because he is this person who can barely walk. He has a walker for the movie. He has a cane. He is a very overweight person. He's a very large appetite, as you could say. In one scene, I believe it was Charlize Theron's character who says that he will look at the menu and say, give me page 2. Not give me an item from page 2, all of page 2. So that was that was very interesting in his character. And they did make him seem creepy, especially the scene with Margot Robbie. But he was also someone who is just like, he would be exactly what someone like this character would be. He would be like, hey, you need to show your legs more. This is TV, it's a visual medium. And that almost makes it seem worse because it does make him seem very predarized. But his acting was amazing all the way through the movie. You can feel him like kind of convincing himself he's not doing anything wrong. Kate McKinnon's character, I liked her, especially when you find out more about her. I'm glad they didn't focus too much on her because you already had 3 characters going at the same time between Robbie, Charlene, and Kidman's character. So I'm glad they didn't really spend more time with her, but you kind of understood her motivations for what she does in the movie. I will say this about the movie. You can tell this is definitely written by someone who wrote The Big Short, Charles Randolph. And it does come off very Big Short-like, at least for the beginning and the end. We also have this issue last year when Vice came out, as the other half who wrote The Big Short wrote it very much like The Big Short. And I'm glad this movie pulled back some on that, as it didn't go all the way with, oh, let me look at the camera, explain to you while everyone else looks at the camera and tries to explain to you what's going on. They kind of reserved it for the beginning and the end. So I kind of appreciated that. And there was one scene, a couple of scenes in the middle where you would like hear characters' thoughts about what was going on while the conversation was completely different. If I had to say anything bad about the movie, I would have to say that once again, I would like to see Charles Randolph change his style. I would also like to see Adam McKay do the same thing. Try to do a movie without having that fourth wall breaking and having the stuff explained to us in an interesting way, though. Also, the movie is extremely heavy-handed. While I had no problems with what its message is at the end of the day, there was a particular, especially a title card scene at the end, especially the last words of the title card is like, alright, we get it, it's sexual harassment, it's bad. You know, this movie's already heavy-handed enough, don't fucking smack me in the face. So that kind of annoyed me. It is a talking movie. I thought it was well acted. I enjoyed it. The cinematography was pretty good. Acting was really well done. Like I said, while a lot of people are giving shout outs to Charlize Theron, and I hate to say they're wrong because she did really do a good job, I think John Lithgow's character needs to be looked at some more because he did some amazing acting through that fat suit. If I'm going to give this movie a score, I'm going to give Bombshell at 8.2. Very interesting, very informative, and if you're someone who feels that this can help you get out of, if you were abused in any way, especially at work, to do something about it. I think also Nicole Kidman's last line was a little bit too much winking at the crowd. There's a reason I believe that this movie went through a couple of production studios before it got made by Lionsgate. But I still think it's a very good movie. It came out in limited release this weekend. Next week it goes wide. I suggest you see it. Go see Bombshell. If you've seen it today, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you plan on seeing it, let me know what you think. Bye.